All right, so let's take a look at question D, which seems very complicated, but I'll show you a quick trick for how you can solve this one a little bit easier once you know some of the numbers that are involved here. So let's take a look at, actually, not take a look. Let's go ahead and set up the way we normally set up that I've done for the previous questions. So first I'm going to just do a quick glance and look at how many variables I have. So I'm just going to create some space over here that I can manipulate them as we're going through. So outer, I hate that this is using a small pen. Sorry, give me a moment. This, let's go here. Okay, let's do outer max, inner max. It's two of them. Then in the loops, we have outer and we have inner. And then I think that's about it. So I've done my quick scan. I've looked for all the variables. And now I'm just going to take a look at the question before I go any deeper into the code. How many values will be printed when the code segment is executed? I can tell you right now that if you see a question like this and you can see how many numbers are here, there's no way they expect you to take a look at all the different outputs and all the different numbers to be able to figure out how, and then count them to figure out how many were done, especially even if it's 45 is the smallest one. It's not going to be super possible if you're taking an AP exam that you have about 2 minutes per question. So I'm going to show you a quick trick to get this one pretty easily. So first things first, I'm going to take a look at the first for loop. Actually, sorry, I'm going to start here. Let me not get too far ahead of myself. And let me set outer max equal to 10 and inner max equal to 5. And then I'm going to look at the for loop. And I'm going to say, all right, outer equals 0. And it's going to go up to outer max. So outer is going to be 0, and it's going to go up to outer max. Quick question. How many times is that loop going to run? If you counted it, we start at 0, going up to 10, but not including. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then not including 10, so it loops 10 times. All the numbers between 0 and including 9. So that means this is going to run 10 times, times 10. Now, let's take a look at the inner for loop. Inner is going from 0 up until inner max. So inner is going to be 0 and up to inner max. So now, how many times is this one going to run? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not including 5, so it's running 5 times. So this is going to run 5 times. And what does that mean? Let's do one quick run through, and then I'm not going to do any more of them. So I do the first for loop. I know outer is less than outer max. I do the first inner loop. Inner is less than or equal to inner max. Oh, actually, sorry. That's a quick change here. Less than or equal to. So that means that it's going to include 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that this inner one is not going to run 5 times. It's my mistake. This is going to run 6 times. So 6 here. All right, so once that happens, I'm going to print out outer plus inner, which in this case, outer is 0, inner is 0, so it's going to print out 0. Then it's going to loop again. But reminder, this inner for loop has to finish first before we can go back to the outer one. Because that loop is the one we're currently in. It has to run until it's completed, and then it goes up to the next one. So that means that now I increment inner to be 1, and I'm going to go ahead and print out outer plus inner. 0 plus 1 is 1. Going to loop again. Inner is going to be 2. Going to add outer plus inner. Now it's going to print out 2. I'm going to increment it to be 3. It's going to be 3. Increment it to be 4. It's going to be 4. Increment it to be 5. It's going to be 5. And then it's going to increment to be 6. But now inner is no longer less than or equal to inner max. So my inner for loop is done. Now, what I want you to notice here is that means that for every loop of the outer for loop, the inner for loop is going to loop 6 times. We don't really care about what the numbers are because it's asking you how many times the values will be printed. So how many times? So that means for every outer for loop, the inner one is going to run 6 times. So if the outer one is running 10 times, we know then that 10, for every 10, we're going to run 6 times. So that's like multiplying them together. So that means that this is going to run a total of 60 times. Because again, for every one outer loop, the inner loop is going to run 6 times. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60 is how many times that will run. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you didn't sit through all of the iterations of this because that's going to take forever. But that might be a little bit useful for you.